Here we are, Jack. We've been here before a few times. Harry batted it back, Rob batted it back, but I'm going to ask you the same question. Semi-final aside for the moment, looking at the other one, Saracens and Gloucester, does a part of you want to get Sarries again to give them a lesson?
I'm going to batter it back as well there, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be one eye on that game, obviously there always naturally is, but I think the important thing for us is obviously not to look too much at that. You know, there's no point thinking about another game and who you're going to play next week, because in these type of rugby games, we lose this weekend, we won't play any more rugby, we won't play in the final or anything, so it's pretty irrelevant. You know, obviously it'd be nice to, you know, come up against Saracens again, but you know, we're under no illusion that this week's going to be very tough. It's going to be a lot tougher than last week, so it's one that we need to put, you know, our full focus on and be ready for it.
I mean, it was a strange quirk of fate that you got Northampton and you got them again. If you were in their change room having been beaten here, what would you have taken from that game, do you think?
I think one where they've got nothing to lose, and I think that's a very dangerous side to play against. I think you know, it's the first semi-final that they've been in for a while. You know, a lot of people thought they'd definitely be saying a lot of people have thought they'd never have got there. So you know, their side, we know they're very dangerous. We were speaking a lot about them last week being very dangerous. You know, their backs are, you know, some quality backs. So it's one that we need to be ready for, and it's one that we kind of need to make it all about us this weekend. And like I said, there's a lot of things driving on the boys to get to that final, and I think the big one of it is obviously losing last year against Sarries.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that with Harry as well. I mean, how fresh is that in your mind if you look back to that 12 months ago? I mean, how easy is it to draw on it? I
think, you know, as the season goes on, you know, you do, you know, drip back into the feelings that that we had in the change room. It's not probably on the forefront of your mind, but I think, you know, especially now we're in this position. We were in this position again last year. It's one that we've been using, you know, quite a lot. You know, it hurt a lot of boys. You know, a lot of boys are upset from it, and which should be. You know, if we compare it to, you know, the final we lost a few years ago, our first final up there. You know, the change room last year was completely different, and I think, you know, it hurt a lot of boys, it made a lot of boys angry, and like I said, as the season goes on, you kind of remember it, think about it, but kind of now we've done the hard work and we're in this position. I think it's the one that boys are really thinking about.
I mean, I guess the reaction to that at the time, the start of the season was fantastic, and you guys flew out the blocks, and now you know you've got 2 games, you can recreate what you did, you know, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess one at a time, I know, but how do you approach a semi-final now, having been in 3 others? You know, how do you approach it? Do you just focus on that one team and forget what the match is all about?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think, you know, like I said, we lose this, there's no more rugby for us in the year. There's no more finals. There's no more potentially winning the final. That's it. So, you know, like we said, use the hurt from the final year before. But we're going to, you know, completely empty ourselves in this game. There's no point saving yourself for anything. We can recover and stuff if we do, you know, get lucky enough to get through. But it's all about emptying ourselves this week. Training's been very good, and you know what's been good for the team this year, which we never really had before, is the fact that, you know, the last few games leading up to this position, we've, you know, rested quite a lot of boys. We rotated the squad because we already nailed down a home semi-final, which is, you know, a bit of a weird one for the boys, but one that's only going to make us better. You know, boys are feeling a lot fresher now, a lot fitter. Just having those couple of down weeks in between. So you know, if anything, all the cobwebs got blown out last week. Ready for this week.
I mean, I'll ask you this. You could say there's nothing like it when you're actually playing, but from the outside looking in, you finish top of the Premiership again. Your home semi-final. Not many teams lose home semi-finals. Fans looking on and think, well, really, it should be an Exeter Sarries. You know, does that bring pressure, or is it something that doesn't even enter your mind?
I think it certainly doesn't enter your mind. I think players certainly aren't thinking that, because, you know, the moment you start thinking about stuff that's coming ahead, you know, you're going to let yourself down. You're not going to play as well as what we know we can do. You know, as soon as you start thinking you've won stuff and you've made things happen, you know, just because we're at home at Sandy Park, it definitely doesn't mean we're going to win. So I think as soon as we start thinking about things like that, that's when we're not going to perform as well as what we know we can do. So you know, we've definitely not been saying that in the change rooms and, you know, in meetings and stuff. We know how hard this game's going to be at the weekend, and how hard Northampton are going to be.
Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.